Assalamu alaikum and welcome to my channel. Today I feel inspired to talk about Tawakkul, so this video is a special message to anyone who is struggling with Tawakkul or learning how to actually have Tawakkul. Before we get into this video, I just have to share this because I'm frustrated. I just recorded this entire video and there was no sound, like literally no sound. So I just hope that Allah helps me to deliver this message as beautifully as I just did. Okay, so I'm going to talk about when what it looks like when Allah is teaching you how to have tawakkul, and then we'll talk about what it looks like when you have tawakkul and when you don't have tawakkul, and then I'm going to share a personal story of mine to help land the point that I'm trying to make. Okay, so when Allah is teaching you how to have tawakkul, He will put you in situations time and time again that you cannot get yourself out of. And I remember that was the case with me. I found myself in these situations. And when you don't have tawakkul, you will find yourself being flooded with anxiety, being so scared, just trying to scramble, trying to do it yourself, looking for the answers everywhere else but what you're supposed to. Yeah, you just go through a lot. Like it will start affecting other aspects of your life. You'll probably be so stressed that you don't want to eat no more because you're just like, it's no way, like I don't see a way out, it's not gonna happen, or I'm not gonna get it, like whatever the case may be. And eventually you'll get to a point where you have no other choice but to just surrender. That is what it looks like when you don't have tawakkul. Versus when you have tawakkul, you can be in the same situation. You can feel all the emotions, all the normal human feelings that we feel when we are in an uncertain situation, when we are experiencing something that we don't have the answer to, or we can't make the thing happen. And when you have tawakkul in these situations, you can feel all those things. And at the same time, your heart is still certain that Allah will open a door for you. I don't want you to think that having tawakkul makes you this superhuman and you just become a robot and you don't feel your feelings. Like you're human. You're going to feel anxious. You're going to worry. You're going to have all these normal human feelings. But when you have tawakkul at the end of the day, while you are feeling all these things, you still, you somewhere in you, you still know that Allah's got you. You still, and that looks like this. I'm scared right now, but I know that Allah is going to open a door for me. I feel fear right now. I'm worried, but inshallah, I know Allah is going to open a door for me. I know Allah's got me. I know Allah will bring an answer for me, whatever the case may be. So in both those two same situations, but different approaches in how you deal with it. The first one is just is very painful. It's too much. Like it just takes a huge toll on you when it actually doesn't have to. And then the second one, you feel what you feel, but you're able to self-soothe. You're able to hold on to Allah. You're able to move through things regardless of how dark or chaotic the situation is. So what does it look like when Allah is teaching you how to have tawakkul? I don't know if I said this or not, but He will continue to put you in situations you cannot get yourself out of. Allah will put you in situations you cannot get yourself out of. And tawakkul is a journey. It's something that is built over time. There's no magic button that you can press and all of a sudden now you have tawakkul. Like if that's you or you know someone like that, like alhamdulillah for them, like that's not real. Like yeah, there's no such thing. It's a journey. It's something that's built over time. And how is it built? by Allah putting you in situations that you can't get yourself out of, that no one else can get you out of, only He can. And the first time, it may take time for you to surrender. Like you'll probably do the, you know, the dance of like going through the motions and like doing all the things that we just talked about, what it looks like when you don't have tawakkul. But then eventually you surrender and put everything in Allah's hands, and then He will come true for you. And then you'll find yourself in another situation that's similar to that, and He will again, maybe by this time you have you're remembering the evidence of, well, last time Allah showed up for me, and I know that this time He will too. For me personally, it took several of those situations for me to get to a point where I can fully say, okay, I surrender. Like no matter what's happening, like I know Allah's got me. It took time, and that has to do with my own deep rooted issues of with trust. But if trust is easier for you, maybe it will only take a couple of those situations or just one, and then from there that would continue to be your evidence that Allah did it for me this time, so I'm not even gonna allow myself to, like allow this to take a huge toll on me. Yeah, so tawakkul is a journey. It's something that's over time, and I also want to highlight in those situations that Allah's putting you through to teach you. Tawakkul is not the only thing you get out of that. You also build a beautiful relationship with Allah. Not only do you get to a point where you trust Allah wholeheartedly, but you build this relationship with Him, you build this bond with Him that is better than anything you can ever have in this world. You learn to rely on Him alone. You learn that He is sufficient for you and He will always be sufficient for you. Allah is the source of everything. He is the creator of the heavens and the earth. He is the owner of this entire universe and everything in it. He is the source of everything. So your problems will never be bigger than Allah. What you need or whatever the situation is, Allah is sufficient for you. Allah knows everything. He knows the seen and the unseen. He's got the answer. Whatever the answer is in your specific situation, He's got it. I just want you to know that Tawakkul is a journey, and inshallah, by going through different scenarios or situations in your life where you can't get yourself out of, and Allah comes through for you, you will learn little by little to trust Him. And those situations then become your evidence to trust Him again and again and again. Back in 2021, I felt like I was like, yes, I am. This is what I've been praying for. This is what I have been working towards. I spent an entire year, most of 2020, like during the lockdown, and part of 2021 to build my skincare business. And at the time, I also had a YouTube channel, and I had about like 600 something subscribers. So it was growing. Like I felt like I was in a really good place. I remember this business, I had put so much time, money, and effort into it. Right around the time I launched it in May 2021. And that month, like before launching, I remember I was staying up all night long, making product labels, product descriptions. It was intense. Like I was grinding. And at that time, I didn't know what tawakkul is. Like even the word, I didn't know. So everything I'm saying right now is coming from a person who literally started at level 0. And in 2021, I got tested with the hardest test of my life. And I spoke about that in this video, so I'm not going to go into detail. But the test hit, and then I lost my business. I lost my YouTube channel because I just could not bring myself in front of a camera. At the time, to be able to build my business and do YouTube, I needed something flexible. So I was doing Uber at the time to support myself while I built my dream life. And a couple of weeks after the test hit, I got into a car accident and no job. So, no business, no YouTube channel, no car, no job, no laptop because that had water damage around the same time as well. So, literally, like, Allah stripped me of everything. And that was that was the lowest low. Like, it was dark. I fell into despair, unfortunately for me. I fell into despair, and it was really hard to look at like friends from college or people I knew, like, oh wow, it felt like everyone was doing much better than me. And at the time I was a person who felt like, oh, by this age, like I have to have this, and then by this age I should have this, or I should be here. So everything came crashing down, and it was very hard to accept. But at that time, that was the beginning of Allah teaching me Tawakkul, teaching me what it means to truly have a relationship with Him. And from that situation, I remember experiencing similar situations where I felt like there's no way, like I can't think of a way. I couldn't get myself out of it. I didn't know anyone else who could, but Allah was there. So none of those other situations was as intense as this first one that I just described, but they were they were still intense. They still filled me with a lot of anxiety. They caused me a lot of stress. And yeah, so little by little, from that time moving forward, Allah started teaching me tawakkul, little by little. And after the first situation, it took me a while to be able to surrender. Like, that was very, very difficult for me, because even though Allah came through like in the past, I would still, whenever a new situation happens, I would still be like, oh my God, like anxious, like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do, like thinking about it day and night, not being able to sleep. Like, it was taking a toll on me until like the last moment. I'm like, okay, I don't know. Like, it's like kind of like bracing myself, like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. But then Allah comes true for me. And then I'm like, oh, Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. But if I had tawakkul, I would not be going through all of that. Like, yes, I would be scared. Yes, I would be anxious, but it would not be as bad as I having sleepless nights and not being able to focus or think about anything else but my problem. So, Alhamdulillah, like all the things that I thought I lost at that time, Allah brought back to me little by little and still is. For example, I'm back on YouTube right now. Like, this is something that I thought it was over for me. Like, when I was in the trenches, I thought it was over for me. Like, I would never get to do these things again. Like, it was done. But Alhamdulillah, like Allah is bringing them back. I'm back on YouTube. And this is the most beautiful part that I want to highlight. Allah's plan is so beautiful. He took those things away. He took me away from those things at that time and stripped me of everything to not only build my relationship with Him, learn how to trust Him and rely on Him alone. But when He brings these things back to me, He brings them back in the most beautiful way. The most beautiful way. Like, I'm making much better content now that I was back then. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen for this. Like, Allah is truly the best of planners. Truly, truly the best of planners. Not just YouTube, my business. Right now, I am currently working on that, and inshallah, I will be launching my personal care brand very, very soon. And also in the past, like, I love nature. I'm a creative person, and combining nature and my husband is walking in right now. Give me a second. I'm struggling to remember what I was just saying, but yeah. So in terms of my personal care brand, yeah, I was saying that I love nature. I am a creative person, and I wanted at the time the vision was combining those two things together, and I also love helping people. So those three components. And then, like, another thing that made it special for me at the time is like, oh, I am using ingredients that I grew up seeing back home in the Gambia. So yeah, but now that I got closer to Allah and I learned how to trust Him and seeing His plan for me, now I am excited because I learned about Sunnah ingredients or things that are mentioned in the Quran, and I'm excited to incorporate those things into my products. So the point that I'm trying to make is, on the journey of tawakkul and getting closer to Allah and learning how to trust Him and truly rely on Him, you gain so much. Like right now, living a life pleasing to Allah is my the most important thing to me. And I wouldn't have gotten that had Allah not put me on this journey. And at that point, everything that I do has to reflect that, living a life pleasing to Allah. It has to, everything, like my whole life revolves around that fact. So on the journey of trusting Allah, learning to rely on Him, you gain so much as a person. You see a lot of people that have everything in this world and they still feel a void. That is what Allah is saving you from. Allah is literally saving you from that, because when you have a relationship with Him, when you learn to trust Him, when you learn to rely on Him, you can lose everything and still be fine because you have Allah, which is everything. And then in another way to see that is, when you have when you have tawakkul in Allah and your relationship with Him is your main focal point in life, everything you have is a bonus on top of that, and everything you do, everything you create becomes even more beautiful. Everything that He might have took away from you, when He brings it back, it comes back much more beautiful. You couldn't have done it that way. You couldn't have planned it that way. Only Him, only He can do that. So for anyone who is on their journey with tawakkul or learning how to have tawakkul, understand that it's a journey, and inshallah you're going to get there. I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy. Going through those situations, it's not going to be easy, but inshallah it's being built over time. And the sooner you surrender to Allah and rely on Him, the sooner you will realize how He has you. He's got you, and He always had you. I hope that you found this message beneficial, and may Allah help us and guide us all to truly rely on Him and trust Him. May He make trusting Him easy for us. I loved making this video, and I hope that it reaches the hearts of anyone who is struggling with tawakkul. Have a beautiful day and or night, whatever the time is over there, and I will see you in my next video. Ma salama.